Gypsy-Rose is an American woman who rose to worldwide prominence when she was convicted of second-degree murder in Springfield, Missouri, for the death of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, King Dee Dee, who subjected her to lifelong physical, mental, and medical abuse. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison. You do the time, you do the wine. What's the saying? Wow, that's so crazy. The one thing I know about the case now is when I was trying to look up the name and the articles for it, dude, she has like her own TV show like Honey Boo Boo, whatever network that is. She was paroled after 8 years near the end of December 2023. Given the sensational aspects of Gypsy-Rose's childhood, including her mother forcing her to pretend to be disabled and terminally ill, she gained widespread media attention. Hulu produced a limited series, The Act, that's the name of it, released while she was still in prison. She has been featured on interviews on a variety of TV shows such as Dr. Phil, and other programs have been based on her story. In 2024, her own reality show, Gypsy-Rose Life After Lockup, premiered on Lifetime. I didn't realize it was this insane. We have to watch the Dr. Phil episode. Early life. Blanchard was born on July 27, 1991 to 24-year-old Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard and 18-year-old Rod Blanchard. All right, Rod. Her mother first began asserting that Gypsy-Rose had an array of different health issues from infancy. Initially, her mother told her she had muscular dystrophy and needed a walker. When she was around 7 or 8 years old, she was involved in a minor motorcycle accident with her grandfather, during which she sustained a minor knee abrasion. After this, Dee Dee told her that she needed a wheelchair. What? Yo, it ain't that crazy. What the hell? The move to Missouri. After Hurricane Katrina destroyed their Louisiana home, Dee Dee and Gypsy-Rose lived in a rented home in Aurora in southwestern Missouri. During that time there, Gypsy-Rose was honored by the Ole Foundation, which advocates for the rights of feeding tube recipients, as its 2007 Child of the Year. The whole time, Gypsy knew she did not need the feeding tube and knew she could walk, but continued with the charade out of fear for her mother. Fear of her mother. There's a big difference. In 2008, Habitat for Humanity built them a small home with a wheelchair ramp and a hot tub as part of a larger project on the north side of Springfield. To the east, and the two moved there. All right, they're on the way. The story of a single mother with a severely disabled daughter forced to flee Katrina's devastation received considerable local media attention. Yeah, that's a headline. And the community often pitched in to help the woman who now went by Claudina Blanchard. Are you kidding me? Many people who met Gypsy-Rose were charmed by her. Her 4'11" height, nearly toothless mouth, large glasses, and high childlike voice reinforced the perception that she had all the problems her mother claimed she had. Dee Dee regularly shaved Gypsy-Rose's head to mimic the hairless appearance of a person undergoing chemotherapy treatment, allegedly telling her that since her medication would eventually cause her hair to fall out, it was best to shave it in advance. Are you out of your mind, Dee Dee? Gypsy-Rose often wore wigs or hats to cover her baldness. When they left the house, Dee Dee often took an oxygen tank and feeding tube with them. Gypsy-Rose was fed the children's liquid nutrition supplement Pediasure well into her 20s. Oh my, dude, that's why she looks so young apparently. Why does she not have teeth? I don't think they elaborated on that. Is it just because she was like that malnutritioned and shit? Her teeth just fell out or something? Dee Dee used physical abuse to control her daughter, always holding her hand in the presence of others. When Gypsy-Rose said something that suggested she was not genuinely sick or seemed to be beyond her purported mental capacity, she recalls that her mother would squeeze her hand very tightly. When the two were alone, Dee Dee struck her with her open hands on a coat hanger. Whoa! Dee Dee seems to have at least once forged a copy of Gypsy-Rose's birth certificate, changing her birth date to 1995 to bolster claims that she was still a teenager. Because that's just what you do, right? Gypsy-Rose said in a later interview that for the 14 years she was unsure of her real age. Dee Dee sometimes also claimed that the original birth certificate was destroyed during the post-Katrina flood. We lost it. Nope, we lost it. Now she's 14. That fucking dude from Benchwarmers, I am 12. Dee Dee did keep another copy with Gypsy's true birth date. Gypsy recalls seeing it during one of their hospital visits and becoming confused. How old am I? Dee Dee told her it was a misprint. Fucking Dee Dee, bro. Hey, Dee Dee! Gypsy-Rose had attended science fiction and fantasy conventions since 2001, sometimes in costume since she could blend into their diverse and inclusive communities in a wheelchair. At a 2011 event, she made what may have been an escaped attempt that ended with her mother found her in a hotel room with a man she had met online. Oh my God, no. Again, Dee Dee produced the paperwork giving Gypsy-Rose's false younger birth date and threatened to inform the police. Gypsy-Rose claims that afterward, Dee Dee smashed her computer with a hammer and threatened to do the same to her fingers if she ever snuck out again. Gypsy claims she was chained and handcuffed to her bed for 2 weeks. However, no handcuffs, leash, or chains were found in the home. So how do you never find that? Dee Dee later told Gypsy-Rose that she had filed paperwork with the police claiming that Gypsy-Rose was mentally incompetent, leading her to believe that if she attempted to go to the police for help, they would not believe her. Oh, Dee Dee. Sometime around 2012, Gypsy-Rose, who continued to use the internet and phone freely, made contact online with Nicholas Godejohn, a man around her age from Big Bend, Wisconsin, whom she said she had met on a Christian singles website. You go, girl. In 2014, Gypsy-Rose confided to 23-year-old neighbor Aaliyah Woodmansey, who, unaware that Gypsy-Rose was closer to her own age, considered herself a big sister. She didn't even realize we're on the same playing field, bitch. That she and Godejohn had discussed eloping and had even chosen names for potential children. Gypsy-Rose, who had 5 separate Facebook accounts, and Godejohn flirted online, their exchanges sometimes using BDSM elements, which she had since claimed was more what he was interested in. Woodmansey tried to talk her out of it, still thinking Gypsy-Rose was too young and possibly being taken advantage of by a sexual predator. She considered Gypsy-Rose's plan just fantasies and dreams, and nothing like this would ever really take place. Despite Dee Dee's efforts to prevent her from using the internet, which went as far as allegedly destroying her daughter's phone and laptop. You fucking bitch, Dee Dee, come on now. Gypsy-Rose maintained contact with Woodmansey, who saved printouts of her posts until 2014. Got the receipts? Oh man, this is heating up. The next year, Gypsy-Rose arranged and paid for Godejohn to travel to Springfield. She planned to pretend to meet Godejohn for the first time at a movie theater with her mother, then appear to strike up a relationship based on the supposed chance encounter. When they did meet in person, Godejohn says Gypsy-Rose led him to the bathroom where the two had intercourse. The two continued their internet interactions and began developing a plan to kill Dee Dee. What? This is insane. This is insane. I think I saw they made a Lifetime movie on it. The murder of Dee Dee Blanchard. Godejohn returned to Springfield on June 10th, 2015, arriving while Gypsy-Rose and her mother were away at a doctor's appointment. After they had returned home and Dee Dee had gone to sleep, he went to the Blanchard house. Gypsy-Rose let him in and allegedly gave him duct tape, gloves, and a knife, with the understanding that he would use it to murder Dee Dee. No, Dee Dee, you gotta get out of there. They go after this like a bunch of vultures, the footage of like the courtrooms and shit, so I gotta use it sparingly. That's why I'm doing that. She hid in the bathroom and covered her ears so that she would not have to hear her mother screaming. Godejohn then stabbed Dee Dee 17 times in the back while she was asleep. Afterward, the two had sex in Gypsy-Rose's room and stole more than $4,400 in cash that Dee Dee had been keeping in her house, mostly from child support checks. Dee Dee's racking up 44 bands. Oh my God. They fled to the motel outside of Springfield. Yo, they're fucking Bonnie and Clyde, these two goofballs, where they stayed a few days while planning the next move. During that time, they were seen on security cameras at several stores. Gypsy-Rose said at that point she believed the two had gotten away with their crime. Yeah, that's not how that's gonna go. They only got 2 people who know her. Oh, The camera's gone front gay. The hell, why did I do that? Yo, whenever I start doing... The camera never does that until I start talking about true crime stuff. They mailed the murder weapon back to Godejohn's home in Wisconsin to avoid being caught with it, then took a bus there. Several witnesses who saw the pair on their way to the Greyhound station noted that Gypsy wore a blonde wig and walked unassisted. Bro, you gotta get a better disguise, what the hell? After seeing concerning Facebook statuses posted from Dee Dee's account, the Blanchards' friend suspected something was amiss. When phone calls went unanswered, several friends and neighbors went to the house. While the friends and neighbors knew that two often left on medical trips unannounced, the two of them, they would go on those excursions, they saw Dee Dee's modified car still in the driveway. What do you mean modified car? Oh, for like the lift or something? Making an unannounced trip unlikely. Alright, so they're like, what the fuck, man? Protective film on the windows made it hard to see inside in the low light. No one answered the door, so the friends gathered and called 911. When the police arrived, they had to wait for a search warrant to be issued because they could enter, but they allowed one of the neighbors to climb through a window. Do what you gotta do. He reported that the inside of the house was largely undisturbed and that Gypsy-Rose's wheelchair were present. So where is everybody? Everyone just got up and left. Gypsy-Rose, apparently she can't walk, swinging around. When the warrant was issued, police entered the house and found Dee Dee's body. What was left of it. Neighbors were concerned about how Gypsy would do without her wheelchair medications and support equipment, such as the oxygen tanks and feeding tube. Friends set up a GoFundMe account to pay for Dee Dee's funeral expenses and possibly Gypsy-Rose's. Yo, they think Dee Dee, they're like, how is Dee Dee gonna get out of here without her oxygen? Bro, she's fucking fine. She didn't do that, supposedly. Her boyfriend did, but she was like, oh, thank you. And then they went, they did the deed, and now we're here. This is bizarre. I wonder how much that GoFundMe would raise me for Dee Dee. But once the story gets out, like the whole story. Woodmansee, who was among those gathered on the Blanchard's lawn, told police that she knew about Gypsy-Rose and her secret boyfriend. Buzzkill. She showed them to the printouts she had saved, which included his name. Based on that information, police asked Facebook to trace the IP address from which the posts to Dee Dee's account had been made. It turned out to be in Wisconsin, and the next day police agencies in Waukesha County raided the Godejohn's Big Bend home. Godejohn and Gypsy-Rose surrendered and were taken into custody on charges of murder and felony armed criminal action. Yo, they got her. They got Gypsy. They got Gypsy. The news that Gypsy-Rose was safe was greeted with relief in Springfield. Oh, they got no idea what she just did. Where she and Godejohn was soon extradited to and held on $1 million bond. But in the announcing the news, Greene County Sheriff Jim Arnott warned, things are not always what they appear. The media in Springfield soon reported the truth of the Blanchards' lives, that Gypsy-Rose had never been sick and had always been able to walk, but her mother had made her pretend otherwise, using physical abuse to control her. Arnott urged people not to donate money to the family until investigators learned the extent of the fraud. You talk about fraud with a capital F, it's this shit right here. Gypsy-Rose pleaded to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Godejohn was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole, and an additional 25 years for armed criminal action. While in prison, Blanchard got engaged to a man named Ken Erker, whom she met through a pen pal program. They subsequently ended their relationship. Okay? In July 2022, she married Ryan Anderson, a teacher who was from the state of Louisiana, in a prison ceremony with no guests present. She's kind of going off the rails, no? A little bit. After prison, Blanchard was released on parole on December 28, 2023, after serving 8 years of her 10-year sentence. Wow. Wow. She announced her ebook, released Conversations on the Eve of Freedom, would be released in January 2024. She's doing the worldwide tour. Do you want more? Following her release, Blanchard began giving interviews to various news outlets and television programs. In her first television interview on January 5th, she spoke to Good Morning America and CNN. Yo, they're eating it up. Later that day, she appeared on an episode of The View, in which she discussed her release from prison and her plans going forward. Blanchard and Anderson filmed a docuseries about their lives, and shortly after her release from prison, the series titled Gypsy-Rose Life After Lockup premiered on Lifetime. We have to see that. Wait, it's a show? The series. That's probably what I saw, her reality show. Oh my god, we have to watch that. But Lifetime never let, like, those shows, they never let fly. That's the problem. Guys, in case anyone's wondering why I've been doing these in addition to the movie reaction, because the movie reactions have been getting copyrighted like crazy, the last handful of them, Warner Brothers in particular. So I want to do all this stuff. I'm still gonna do movie reactions. Like I got a couple. I still got Clown in the Cornfield. On March 10th, 2024, Blanchard deleted her Instagram and Twitter accounts. At its height, her Instagram account had accumulated 7.8 million followers. On March 14th, she announced in a now deleted TikTok that she planned to keep her account but then deleted her TikTok. She has since reactivated it. She's got TikTok? What? On March 28th, 2024, Blanchard announced she had separated from Anderson in a statement posted to her private Facebook account obtained by People magazine. It ain't private from People magazine, bro. If they want it, they're gonna get it. People have been asking what is going on in my life. Unfortunately, my husband and I are going through a separation. And I moved in with my parents' home down the bayou. I have the support of my family and friends to help guide me through this. I am learning to listen to my heart. Right now I need time to find myself, who I am. Who I am. Blanchard and Anderson finalized their divorce December 9th, 2024. The fuck out of here, Mr. Anderson. Blanchard appeared in an episode of the 5th season of the Hulu reality show, The Kardashians. What? We gotta see that. Dude, the most entertaining shit in that show was Scott and the mom's relationship. And when he was fucking crazy town, he's like punching the mirror. I don't even know if that was like Courtney Chloe Take Miami or some shit, because they had a bunch of spin-offs. But when he was like crazy, that was just, it was reality TV. It was insane. On April 30th, 2024, Blanchard announced via TMZ that she had rekindled her relationship with her ex-fiance Ken Urker. On July 9th, 2024, Blanchard announced she and Urker were expecting their first child together, due in January 2025. Their daughter was born on December 28, 2024. Yeah. The fictionalizations in popular culture. All right, so we have, dude. We got so many things to check out. We gotta see the trial footage. We gotta see her episode and fucking Courtney Chloe Kim. Oh my god, dude, they're all K. Is that's the joke? Courtney, Chloe, Kim, Kendall, Kylie, Chris. 6 of them? Guys, if you've been enjoying any of the true crime videos lately, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, notification bell, and let me know other cases I should be checking out. You can get access to 4 exclusive ones of true crime, older format I did in my car, but they're Patreon exclusive now. Mothman, Slenderman stabbings, Elizabeth Olsen, the murder, and the Betty and Barney Hill alien abduction, like cryptid stuff. I appreciate the support over on Patreon too. You guys are what allowed these like offshoot series to give a chance and keep going. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.